as always, we're looking for places that have got the basics covered in really good style. So that would be good transport, decent schools, decent high street, places where you can get everything you need and a lot of what you want. But particularly, I think what we're keen to celebrate is places that have got something a little bit extra. So that could be beautiful scenery, really good culture, lovely architecture. But most of all, I think the thing we really look for is community spirit, places where they've got good network of local people willing to work hard to make their place as good as it can be. And blimey, Wadhurst has got that in spades, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know, it's funny, I said earlier that perhaps that was something that was intangible, but here I am, and I've been absolutely welcomed in and immersed in the community spirit here from the word go, actually, since we showed up at the train station yesterday.
Oh, that's lovely to hear. And not surprising, to be honest.
Yeah.
Not surprising. And again, it's a place where there's, lots of community groups, lots going on. Pretty much any hobby you've got, I think you can do it there. I think there's even a brass band, isn't there? They haven't been out playing for you, have they?
No, I think you're right. There is a brass band. We've not seen them yet. Maybe they'll march up the high street at some point after the rush hour's passed. We should also talk about the other places, because while Wadhurst is the overall winner, the Sunday Times judges also pick out regional winners as well. So talk us through some of the best of the rest, I suppose.
Well, I suppose we've got 72 places in total, and I don't want to kind of dismiss any of the ones, even the ones that didn't make it as regional winners, because just to get on the list, I think, is is quite an achievement. But of the regional winners, a few interesting ones. I was really excited that Liverpool was best in the Northwest. Just because I think, it's a city that sometimes gets an unfair press. But we looked at it really hard. Cities are definitely back this year, just after everyone ran off to the country for the COVID pandemic. But we thought, which city would you want to live in for the next 10 years? And, Liverpool won hands down. There's a lot of exciting new investments going in, but more important than that, it's got affordable houses. So why would you want to bankrupt yourself when you can live somewhere you can afford that is, exciting and thrilling place to be?
I think what I like about the Sunday Times Best Places to Live is the kind of broad approach to it. So there are so many criteria, whether it's, you're looking for a great school for your kids, or fast broadband so you can work from home, or, the option to commute into a city or whatever, that actually there is so much to consider, and actually that means you can really focus what you're looking for.
It does, and it means the choices have to be a little bit subjective, because different people want different things. Our winner in Scotland, for example, it couldn't be more different from Liverpool, which is Dunkeld, which is a lovely spot, kind of just on the edge of the Highlands, beautiful scenery, but it's got one of the kind of smartest, most sophisticated little high streets that you can ever imagine, full of kind of Scandi-style bakers and lovely interior shops. And it's, again, somewhere you can get not just what you need, but the best stuff that there is.
Do you notice, I suppose, themes or trends in what people are looking for? So you said that the kind of cities are back, but in terms of the high street here in Wadhurst, you mentioned the Dunkeld high street as well, it feels to me like they're bucking the trend. We often report on the demise of the high street, but actually these places are thriving.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think one of the things that we get very excited about is independent shops, and I think a lot of the places on this list have high streets that are packed with independent shops. And maybe if there's another criteria that we kind of look for, it's one where interesting people are able to do interesting things and get encouragement and support from the community. And that often means, opening a little shop or a restaurant or doing some creative thing. And that's, something we saw particularly in our regional winner in the East, which is Saffron Walden, which, has always been lovely, always been beautiful, always been quite sought after. But since the pandemic, there's been a little influx of interesting, cool, funky little, bars, restaurants and shops opening in somewhere that used to be quite highbrow. Fantastic local artists who's made a huge success of doing the Saffron Walden tea towel, which a fantastic little print she did, and I think she thought she might sell 50, 100 copies, and I think well over 1,000 copies. Well over 1,000 was sold before Christmas, and now she's got oven gloves and aprons and things. And again, it's a perfect sign, because it's someone being creative, but then it's also the sign of a community that's really keen to buy into celebrating where they live.
Thank you so much for watching. You get extra points for making it all the way to the end of the video.
And if you want to see more from me, Chloe and Callum, you can join us every Friday to Sunday on Times Radio from 6 a.m.